Book Snapshot.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we take the world's most powerful books on success, money, and mindset and break them down into lessons you can apply in real life. Today, we're diving deep into a book that refuses to sugarcoat anything. A book written by a self-made millionaire who actually did it. No theory, no recycled advice, just raw, unfiltered truth about what it really takes to get rich. We're talking about How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. This isn't your typical self-help book. It's part confession, part manifesto, and part masterclass on wealth building from a man who made hundreds of millions of dollars and then asked himself, was it even worth it? So grab your coffee, take notes, and make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite quote from this video. Let's jump in. Who was Felix Dennis? Let's set the stage first. Felix Dennis wasn't born rich. In fact, he grew up poor in South London, raised by a single mother. No college degree, no network, no head start. He even got arrested in the 1970s for obscenity charges linked to Oz magazine, an underground publication he co-founded. But from those rebellious beginnings, Dennis built Dennis Publishing, a global media empire behind magazines like Maxim, The Week, PC World, and Auto Express. He was worth over $300 million, owned a private island, and had an art collection that would make any gallery jealous. What makes him unique? He spent his later years writing poetry and reflecting on the true cost of wealth, and then told all of it in this brutally honest book. Part 1. The Foundations of Wealth. 1. Getting rich is easy, but it's not fun. If it's so easy, why aren't more people rich? Because getting rich isn't intellectually hard, it's emotionally hard. It requires obsession, relentless action, emotional control, and a high tolerance for risk. Dennis calls out motivational gurus who make it sound effortless. In truth, it's more like running a mental marathon, day after day, year after year. Example, he worked 16-hour days, slept in offices, flew across the globe at a moment's notice, and weathered lawsuits and betrayals, all in pursuit of ownership. 2. Ownership is everything. The only way to get rich is to own your own company. Let's be clear, Felix Dennis despised the idea of getting rich off a salary. He believed that equity is the only real path to wealth. Why? Because when you own equity, your time isn't your only value. You're building a machine that works even when you don't. Example, he turned down acquisition offers multiple times because he knew the future value of what he built would be worth far more than any short-term cash out. Lesson: don't chase promotions, chase leverage. That's what equity gives you. 3. Talent is overrated. Drive wins. Dennis admits he wasn't the smartest person in the room. He wasn't a genius. He couldn't code. He wasn't even particularly strategic early on. What set him apart? Relentless drive and the sheer refusal to give up. Making money is a knack that can be acquired. Example, when PC World magazine was losing money, he doubled the print run and slashed advertising costs. Everyone thought he was mad. But it worked. He'd studied his market, took the risk, and owned the outcome. 4. Fear is the #1 wealth killer. Fear of failure is a killer of dreams. Fear of embarrassment, fear of poverty, fear of starting late, fear of standing out. Dennis insists that conquering fear is one of the few superpowers that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Real talk. Most people want to be rich, but very few are willing to. Risk humiliation. Fail in public, burn bridges. Be seen as greedy or arrogant. If you're not willing to embrace that discomfort, Dennis says, don't even try. Part 2. The traps that keep you poor. 5. A salary is a sedative. A salary is merely the drug they give you to forget your dreams. Dennis isn't subtle here. He calls salaries the financial opium of the masses. Sure, they offer stability, but that stability comes at the price of ambition and ownership. Example, you might make $80,000 a year, but your employer is making 10 times that off your work. You're trading control for comfort. He doesn't say quit today, but he says you must find an escape path. 6. Comfort is your enemy. We don't stay broke because we're lazy. We stay broke because we're comfortable. Most people will do anything to avoid discomfort, even if it means never becoming rich. Dennis challenges you to be uncomfortable on purpose. Live below your means. Take on risk. Work long hours. Be willing to be hated or misunderstood. Example, early in his journey, Dennis lived in a filthy shared flat, worked non-stop, and still found time to teach himself about publishing, advertising, and distribution. 7. Debt will kill your dreams. Dennis is crystal clear. Stay out of personal debt. Debt makes you a slave. Sure, leverage can grow wealth, but only when you're already wealthy. In the early stages, debt limits your freedom and puts you at the mercy of others. Example, he bootstrapped his early companies instead of raising capital. It took longer, but he retained full control. When the money came, it all went to him. Part 3. Building your empire. 8. Hire people smarter than you. Dennis says most new entrepreneurs make one of two mistakes: hiring people who are easy to control, trying to do everything themselves. Example, he hired top-tier editors, CFOs, and negotiators, and let them run. Micromanagement, he says, is a guaranteed way to stunt your growth. 9. Obsession beats strategy. Dennis believed that business success doesn't come from planning, it comes from compulsion. You have to be totally and utterly obsessed. Example, while building Maxim, he would personally call distributors, negotiate advertising, approve covers, and rewrite headlines. He was in it, 24/7. Lesson: if you treat wealth building like a hobby, you'll get hobby-level results. 10. Know when to stop, or at least slow down. In the later chapters, Dennis reflects on what he sacrificed. Real friendships, peace of mind, health, a sense of purpose beyond money. Making money is easy. The harder part is knowing when to stop. He admits he became obsessed, and that obsession cost him more than just time. Dennis doesn't just tell you how to get rich. He forces you to ask the real question: what are you willing to sacrifice, and is it worth it? He's not trying to talk you out of it, he's just making sure you know what you're walking into. And that's what makes this book different. It's not a cheerleader, it's a brutally honest mentor who hands you the sword and says, here's how to win. Just know you may bleed. So, do you really want to get rich? Or do you just like fantasizing about it? Felix Dennis made his fortune and shared every scar and lesson along the way. This book is for the brave, for those who are willing to do the work and pay the price. If you found value in this breakdown, here's how you can support the channel. Subscribe for more deep dive summaries, like this video to help us reach more ambitious minds, and comment below. What was your biggest takeaway from Felix Dennis? Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep building your empire.